When I was in India, I always heard one thing: US education is completely different, much more practical, much more advanced, not only bookish, not only theoretical. And I honestly believed that, right? I thought once I enter the US classroom, everything will be, next level. It's going to be so great what I had studied in India compared to that. But after doing a master's in India and multiple master's degrees in the United States, what I experienced was very different from what I had imagined when I was in India. I've studied in India for many years. I mean, I did engineering, I did MBA, I did law, and multiple other degrees in India. And then later, when I studied in the US as well, I did a few master's program, masters in electrical engineering. I did another master's in IT management. I did a lot of certifications here in the United States and a few other things as well. So what I'm talking here is not theory. This is just what I have experienced on both the sides of the world, right? When I was in India and what I learned when I was in US. The first thing that surprised me in the United States was the class size. In India, my MBA classroom had, I think, probably 50, 60 students. I mean, this was long back, more than a decade back. So, take it with a pinch of salt at the time. It may have changed now, but it was like, I think, 50, 60 students at the time. In the United States, the classrooms were much smaller to that, much smaller. That changes the dynamic, right? The professors know you directly. You can't hide. In India, you can sometimes disappear in the crowd. Here, you can't in the United States because there are so less students in the classroom. So it's easier for the professors to have that connect with the students, which was not the case when I was in India. I don't think they knew I was in the class or not. Also, the biggest myth I had was this: that the United States education is fully practical, and in India it is only bookish. I mean, everybody kind of talk about it. Honestly, it's not that black and white, I would say, from my experience. I mean, yes, the US has more projects, more discussions, more case studies, and all that, but there are still reference books, there are still exams, there are still deadlines. We have to go through the books and everything. I went in thinking, यहाँ तो सिर्फ प्रैक्टिकल होगा, बुक्स कम होगी यहाँ पे बहुत. But it was actually quite similar in structure. Quite similar in structure. The difference was not magic. It was how much the responsibility was on the student to do compared to what was in India. I felt that the responsibility was more with the students here in the US compared to what I had looked at in India. Another fear I had was about the people. I thought everyone here would be, extremely fluent in English, extremely smart, global exposure, top tier, and all that. And honestly, I was very nervous. बहुत डर लग रहा था मुझे. But once classes started, I realized something. It wasn't scary. It wasn't scary. In fact, in many subjects, I did very well, even topped some of the exams. I mean, मैं कोई genius नहीं हूँ. It just showed me that the gap we imagine is often bigger than the real gap which is there. I mean, मुझे डर लग रहा था. How would I survive in US classrooms? But it was not that difficult. It was not that difficult. It was similar to what I had studied in India. It just, one of the things that I was worried about at the time. One big difference I noticed in the United States was age diversity. In India, most people are of the same age group in a class, right? Same age group. In the United States, I had classmates who were 40, 50, even 55 years old. Some of them told me, this won't help my career in a way. I'm close to retirement right now. This was my dream to do a master's program. That's why I'm doing it. That mindset was new for me. Education was not always about ROI and all that. Sometimes it was just for personal fulfillment. That was not the case when I was in India. Everything was related to ROI, how much I'm going to get out of it, how much money I'm spending, how much average package, all that. Another thing that surprised me here: many students in the United States were sponsored by their companies as well, like the fees. They were studying because the company was paying for the program, all those, rupees. In India, when I did my MBA, most of the people paid from their pockets. Like, that alone changes the motivation, pressure, mindset, because you are paying from your own pocket compared to a company is paying for you. That was different, right? A company paying $50,000, $60,000 for you. After seeing both the systems, I realized something very simple here. No system is perfect. Don't fall for that trap. I don't think any educational system is perfect. India pushes discipline, volume, and the United States pushes independence and ownership. What you gain depends less on the country, and more on how seriously you engage with that process which is there. There are many more differences I noticed. I mean, there are a lot of these, right? So many years I can talk about, because degrees take so much time. But this video is already getting long, like काफी बड़ा हो गया, right? If you want a part 2 kind of thing, like how the grading, professors, pressures, job, real value after degrees and all that, how that works, let me know in the comments, because then based on that I can create another video. And if you have studied outside your home country, to a different country like me, share what surprised you the most of studying there, because someone reading might really need that perspective, because they may be thinking if they should do that degree in another country or not.